I'm going to be reading Baby's First Bank Heist, which was one of the books that was shortlisted for the Lollies Award this year. You have to have a look and see whether it won. Baby's First Bank Heist. Baby Frank loved animals, and yet he could not get his mum and dad to understand how much he'd like a pet. It didn't matter what it was, a dog, a cat or a rabbit. If Frank saw fur while out on walks, he'd lunge and try to grab it. And though each night at story time, young Frank would always choose books involving birds and beasts, from ducks to kangaroos, his parents would not change their minds. His mum said, "You're not ready." "And they cost too much," said Dad. "Be happy with your teddy." Frank tried to think of all the ways a pet could be obtained. He was sure that he could steal one, but the problem still remained of how he was supposed to find the money he would need to buy his newfound furry friend its bedding, bowl and feed. Out shopping with his mum one day, the answer came to Frank. There really is no other choice. I'll have to rob a bank. He waited till the coast was clear, with Mum stuck in a queue. Then Frank put on a bandit mask and disappeared from view. Past every camera, gate and guard, the baby crawled unseen. There were no bars or laser beams he couldn't fit between. Quick as a flash, he found the vault and scooped up all the loot. He swiftly stuffed the notes and coins inside his romper suit. Then back to Mum he scarpered and sat down without a fuss. Nobody tried to stop him as he went home on the bus. Late that night, Frank crept downstairs and turned on the computer and started searching animals to check which ones were cuter. He knew he wanted something small, but not a boring mouse. So it was that, and so it was that Frank received a meerkat in his house. He snuck his pet up to his room and kept it out of sight and practiced looking after her to show he'd do it right. The meerkat was a great success and little Frank adored it. But pretty soon he wanted more. Why not? He could afford it. First a dog and then a pig, 2 aardvarks and a cat was smuggled up into his room. He should have stopped at that. There were leopards in his cupboards and a beaver in the bath, and Frank was really struggling to hide his new giraffe. Where's the giraffe? It all went wrong one afternoon when Mum called out and said, "Don't be alarmed, but I just found a rhino in our shed." It took some detective work to find out Frank's deceit. Banknotes and a bandit mask, a pile of named receipts. Mum showed her clues to Dad and said it was her firm belief. Our baby wanted pets so much, he's turned into a thief. Once Frank could see how sad they were, he quickly understood that stealing things was wrong. From now on, he'd be good. Frank's parents took him to the bank and told him of the theft. The bank asked for their money, but there wasn't any left. The family went home to their pets and wondered what to do, until at last Dad had a thought. Let's open up a zoo. By selling tickets at the door, they soon began to save. Frank tried his best to lend a hand and show he could behave. He served his time without a doubt, and though still on all fours, it didn't stop him mucking out and even leading tours. At night he'd lie down with the pets and gaze up at the stars. Baby Frank had got his way. He was happy behind bars. Not the bars that normally thieves get put behind.